Alrighty. Let's continue on with our Goldar art. Let's see if I can bring it up. I think I crashed last time. Let's see if we can find that. Here it is. Yeah, hopefully tonight's a little bit better. Alright. Got my playlist going. We should continue. Alright, so this is what we have so far for the Goldar drawing. I also added some more little doodles that I did in Drawpile previously, and you can see it sliding in a little small slideshow in the corner there, in the bottom left. You got some cool characters. Alright, let's zoom in on this guy's face. I add the background so that we can see what he looks in color. Just a little preview. Alright, let's get our brushes in. This program is called Drawpile. Okay, let's see if I think 4 is a little bit big. Wait, what is this button here? Pressure sensitivity. Ooh, interesting. Now I don't know which one was the default. I don't know what it does, but carrying on. Okay, so this layer is definitely the outline. Man, I feel like any of these buttons that I press is going to like freeze the computer or something. I don't know. Kind of feels a bit laggy already. Oh, I don't want this color. Let's get it as black as night as we can. Oop. Opacity should be a little bit darker. Alright. So this next part here should be his, I don't know what you would call it. It's like his scarf or something. It's supposed to be like a little bit hairy. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's got like this spike that comes out at the end of it, and it just, a lot of times it comes down, it'll come across his chest over his armor. So see if you can draw it a little bit more, make it appear more hairy. This will require a lot of clicking, that's for sure, to get all the hairs. Wait, I'm gonna just zoom out a little bit to see how it would look once it's okay. So I think that part is gonna go over here, then on the other side too. So his chest is gonna be about that length. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but yeah, swap with the eraser. So it's gonna be like this area will be the chest, and then his arms, including his shoulders, is gonna cover this much of the page, probably almost close to the edge of the pages. And then his arms come downward and then upward towards the center. So his pose will be like that. Okay, let's go back in. I should probably like sketch it out just to see how it would look, but you know what? We'll just go as we'll plan it out as we go. We can always redraw it if we want to change some things. We can always go back and change it. It's not like we're working with ink or permanent ink or anything. Even if we did, I think that's probably the point of art, is to practice how to fix our mistakes if it were to occur. I'm not sure how his throat looked like. I think it's just like a bunch of like wrinkles or whatever. So I'll just draw a little bit of lines here. It looks like it. I think it might just be like hair, like it's just a hairy throat. Like in a way, he does resemble like sort of a wolf character. I think he's supposed to be like a griffin, like the type of species that he is. It's supposed to be like a griffin. I mean, he does have the hair, or the wings, I mean, and the hairs of like a lioness, wolf-like beast. So he's definitely a hairy character. And he has a collar part of his armor. Let's get that in. I think I should save this size 3 pixel brush for when I want to do details. I don't know. I could definitely work with this size brush. Alright. And then his collar dips inward and reveals this jewel. There's a couple of jewels on his chest or around the area. Oh, I hope I don't regret this. I've got like a few programs open up, including the web browser, Winamp, OBS, then the Drawpile program. And they all just feel like very lag-tastic. Well, besides Drawpile. Like every click that I make is going to like freeze. Yeah, just restart the PC too. Okay. See, I want to make some temporary lines, not necessarily like finalized lines, just so I can see how the armor is going to turn out. Alright, this next part here is going to be the other. I know in the show, like this part of his man, I don't even know what to call it. Like tail? Hair tail or something? Ponytail? No, not ponytail. Like hair tail. Wiggles around a lot. Sometimes most of the time, usually it will be like over his chest, like on the front side, but then sometimes it's over on behind him. He pulls it backwards, so it'll be like not in the way and stuff. But since this will be a more Oh man, what's the word I'm looking for? It's supposed to look valiant, like he's supposed to have this posture, like a valiant posture, you know? So let's see how this turns out. I could also use this as a way to maybe cover part of the chest plate, so I don't have to actually show the entire armor. Man, this hair part is gonna... It's gonna be a lot of details, man. Especially because it's also a very hairy part of the body. So I'm gonna draw a bunch of lines, add a bunch of lines. Probably won't be visible later, but at least it'll give me some idea where to put the coloring. Man, I feel like this one's going to be a very detailed one. I'm not sure if I want to put it in color, because I think the coloring is gonna... It will be very important to add color, but he has to really stand out, looking as gold as possible, because he is Goldar. Maybe I should up the opacity. I feel like it's a little bit on the light side. There we go. Because I don't want to have to like redraw over everything I just did again. Just the lines are a little bit darker. But you know what? It's okay. Alright, let's go back to the armor. Hopefully I'm doing this correctly. Try and get a closer look at his armor. I think it's supposed to curve around the gem, or whatever the jewel is. So this part here should be a red one, like a red gem, and then underneath it, along his chest plate, would be a green one. I feel like I should already start using an eraser. Okay. So there seems to be a lot of curves in his armor. I just never realized that before. Dun, 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 dun. So this green one here should be a circular, and it should be very visible. So I'll just make it a little big enough that it's visible. Oh man, maybe I should make the lines a bit darker, huh? There we go. There's one thing to make it darker. Nothing to have the right size too. It seems like the linings across his chest plate is like like wings of a phoenix or something, or I guess wings of a griffin. Makes sense too. But there's a lot of lines involved though, a lot of wavy lines. The hairy hair tails, and they should probably end somewhere. There you go, something like that. But I think his hand would be somewhere around here. I don't want to finalize where it's going to be yet, but make some little marks here and there. Something like that. So technically we won't be able to see his chest or the complete let's get some more hairs in there. It's close enough, I guess. Add some more hair on the side here. Also on this side. If I should like make the claw pointed this way or the other way. Let's see. I think I should just keep it pointing towards the center or something. Let me erase that part. Something like this. And it shouldn't be too thick, I think. Hello there, lurking tentacles. Welcome back. Scruff, yeah. Is it called Scruff? I don't know. I don't know what to call it. Add some more blue background if I can. Although I think it should be gold, not blue. Oh, wrong color. Well, what is up the opacity? Ooh. I think the size 4 is a little bit too thick. Yeah, I gotta stick with a 3, I think. 3 or 2 should be fine. Okay, so this part of his armor is like... This should be the end part of the top part of the chest plate, I think. And it should wrap underneath the green jewel thingy. Very carefully gotta erase. Alright, that's better. Ooh. Needed to lower down the opacity a bit. A little more. Yeah, something like that. And now, underneath that layer, there should be another one that comes down this way. It has a bigger opening. And then on the lower layer underneath that should have some scales, I think, from the looks of it. These scales kind of resembles like golf ball patterns, like think you've ever seen the patterns of a golf ball. It's like mini circles, like small little circles. In pattern. Something like that. Okay, let me zoom out a bit. Okay, so I think I should probably make his hands a little bit bigger. I gotta figure out how his hand's gonna look. Okay, so or how his arms are gonna. Okay, so the armor is gonna be like somewhere that, also on this side. This arm's gonna fold out. Okay, yeah, alright. It should be able to fit inside the frame, the canvas or whatever. His arms. I think his fingers are supposed to be a little bit longer from what we see. Not sure how that's going to layer down. And then his sword right at the center. Alright. Let's go back in. Ooh. Let's get some more hair on his neck. I think about like 30 opacity is where it should be. 3 pixel and then 30 opacity. Yeah, seems about right. Maybe have some hair sticking out on the collar a bit, maybe. Although I feel like even though we're painting in black, his body is going to be like a very dark blue color anyway, so probably won't be able to see much of that detail that we put in, but. I was going to note that the hair tail is against his neck. Well, so should make that apparent. Okay. I think he should have some more hair sticking out though. So I'll probably make some longer ones in the back here. Yeah. And okay, I gotta figure out where his shields are gonna, his shoulder pads are gonna show up. Should be about somewhere here, just below where I drew the lines. Yeah, somewhere. Maybe I should go with a number 4 pixel. There we go. Let me zoom out a bit. And then his shoulder pads also has these sort of like spiksies. I don't know what you call them. It sort of goes up. It comes off from his like chest plate and it goes upward. I'll redraw it again. I don't know how these are supposed to look. Oof. Something like that. Chest plate. So then this part leads out to his shoulder pad. Gotta have some thickness underneath there. Okay. And then also spiky thing should pop up. Something like that. I don't know how that actually looks like how the shape of it is in 3D. Hopefully it's something like that. Although, this is where I think it starts to line up with his other shoulder pad. So it should be something like this. Should come around something like another layer of the plate. So it should be another thick layer. Let's see if we can get it down. Yeah, something like that. This guy is like, he must be really heavy with all that armor on. I don't think I've ever seen like Goldar without his armor. Oh, it's gotta line up with the other part here. So you can get it. Kind of almost resembles a turtle shell from Super Mario series. Alright, so it should go out a little bit farther. It's okay to make this all sketchy as a first draft. You can always clean it up with the eraser. Okay, so now he's got some patterns on those shoulders too, like they're not like any significant pattern. Right, I'm about to mute the mic a bit. So I think his elbow here is visible, and then it comes back to being covered with armor. So we'll get to see a lot about that. I mean, I assume that that is visible, but from the looks of the costume itself, it seems that way. So I'm not sure how this part of his sheath or forearm piece of the armor looks like, or how it's positioned. I feel this part here, like it's like a little, almost like a little blade, not really a blade, but like a wing that pops out of it, of the forearm. I'm not sure if that position is correct, but I guess I'll roll with it. Like he has this, the way his armor is built, it's supposed to line up with this part where his biceps are. So it comes down and then it spreads out like almost like a partial wing, and then it reconnects with the forearm or something like that. So I shouldn't make this part too spread out just yet. He has a slightly complex armor design. I just never really taken a closer look at him. Like, I get the general look of how his armor is like, but I just never taken a closer look at it and go into detail. And I guess the pattern on his shoulder pads is like, I think the way to describe it is like, it's almost like melted gold when it's like settled. That's probably like parts of it look like it's melted in. So I don't want to draw the patterns too detailed, but definitely want to make it apparent somehow. Alright. Sketch a few more lines on this side before we start on the other side. Then we gotta smoothen out this bicep area too. Actually, I might even keep that line because it could help the goldness stand out a little more. And this part is supposed to curve inward and then downward. Alright, I might have to make them make a little bit more. So this part of his hand, his whatchamacallit, greaves, I think it's called greaves. So the goldness of it and how the parts are separated by the knuckles and by the wrists area. So it reminds me of another character from a different series, but also in a similar genre. Basically, it reminds me of the Guyver 2 suit. So if anyone ever watched the Guyver Bio Boosted Armor or Bio Booster Armor in the original animated series, also the manga, it's based off a manga series back in the late 80s, early 90s. This show I used to grow up on. Very violent, and there's a Guyver 2 unit that has a gold color, not really gold, but like more of a orangey, yellowy suit, compared to the Guyver 1 unit, which was a more bluish color, sometimes portrayed as like a silvery color. There's a unit 2 that has a goldish orange color. It was worn by a villain of the show. And it's got some similar patterns in the armor design to Goldar here. And probably another comparison would be the Varia suit from Metroid, which is the suit that everybody's seen, the goldish looking one. Not really gold, but you know, the yellowish, orangey suit. Very similar in design to the Guyver series, the Guyver unit. And not a lot of people really compare that in design. I think you have to have interest in both franchises and also an artistic view to know the similarities, to have spotted the similarities between the two designs, suits. Okay, so I think Goldar. So after these, that part, the knuckles, like each of the knuckles or fingers got its own piece of armor too. So similar way like the Guyver suits and the Varia suits, Metroid Varia suits, has those too. So it would be on top of the fingers. I'm not sure how I'll lay out the fingers here, but I'll try my best. Alright, I need the mic for a bit. Alrighty. So now you can make our way towards the other side. I'm just gonna draw the other arm. I'm not sure how much time we have left. I think we can go for like maybe another half hour or so. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how long. Alright. So I think it looks like the shoulder pads on the right side is a little bit lower than I want it to be. Yeah, maybe not as much, but yeah, I can definitely work with this, with what I have here. Might have to raise it up a little bit more. We'll see. Actually, yeah, I'll just like draw a little bit upward over these lines. It might have to come out a little bit farther. I think that's how I'll be able to fix it. Just has to come out a little bit farther, and also use the eraser to thin out the line. There we go. Ah, much better. I mean, it's just a little off, but not quite where I wanted to be. There you go. So apparently there's also some, like, one gem alongside this part. So it'd be like right here underneath where, you know, the hair tail is, or are. Underneath both of these hair tails, there's like one more jewel where it connects the these little spikes in the shoulder pads together, or something like that. So I'm gonna have to make that visible. I think it's supposed to line up with the collar too. It seems like from some of the screenshots that I've seen, it looks like it's a little bit higher when it's aligned, but I think this is fine too. He does. I don't think it appears so that he's like he has his head held up high. Where in the shows he seems more when he's in battle, like they make it so that his head is a little bit lowered. It's gotta look mean, I guess. But in this position, I'm trying to take a look at how these spiky parts come out, and I get a sense of how they're supposed to look. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a little bit more rounder than actually spiky, but definitely something that's fixable. They do have a certain thickness to it too, so I gotta see how I'm able to do that. I might have to do some erasing too. Also, these bolt lines could also double as some shadows underneath it, but let's see, it's supposed to like plaster down to attach to the shoulder pads. Oh man, I love this track. Okay, I think this part here, I gotta go like in close. There you go. Some erasing would also help too. Yeah, something like this, and then right above it there seems to be another spike, but then it comes out as attached to its top layer of the shoulder blade, or the shoulder pad. I mean, maybe I should go, maybe that's what I should call these, like shoulder blades, I guess. And there's also a certain thickness to them too. The top part, I mean. These could also be fixed just by adding shadows. There you go, something like this. Okay. Man, I'm really liking how this side turned out. Now I gotta work on the right side. Okay. So again, this side also should have a jewel sticking out some way. Let's see. I feel like this hair tail is supposed to cover part of it, because it's like brought out to this side a little more than compared to this side, so should cover a big portion of it. And then this should curve down and then upward to create the little blade spike or something. Yeah, something like this. I need the eraser tool so I can actually sharpen it a bit more. And then this next one, I should make it pop up a little more so that you can tell that there's two of them there, two blades, or two spikes coming out. Maybe I don't want it to bring it out too much. I think where I had before was really where it should be. remember, I gotta make it symmetrical. This part's supposed to be a little bit more round, but since my mouse is a little bit shaky, I'll have to use the eraser to adjust it a little bit. Again, also can be fixed with shadows. Alright, now I'm going to add some more details to the shoulders. Okay, so it looks like it's just like patterns, the same as underneath the chest. So it's like little golf ball patterns. Yeah, a little more like golf ball patterns. I never really noticed this before, but now that I've looked at it, it's like, yeah, definitely golf ball patterns. Like his shoulders pass look like golf balls. Okay. I don't want to put too much on there. Okay, so the shoulder pad should be coming up. The layers. I feel like I should spread them a little more. Let's see how they look. Actually, yeah. This one, the top layer. I can't even. Let me see. Okay, yeah, that should be the bottom layer. And then underneath those blades are the bottom layer of the shoulders. I should make it so that it's like coming down. I should also make it round, not too blocky. So, like a lot of shoulder blades or shoulder pads, it's like they're usually roundish, not too blocky. You know that the Megazord, the arms are supposedly part of the Mastodon, I think. Oh wait, no, it's the body. I think the body part. The main body is like the Mastodon Zord. And the shoulder parts are part of the Mastodon's legs, I think. and they come out looking really blocky, like almost like a hexagon shape when you look at from the front side. Okay. Because he does also have this like under shoulder thingy, similar to this part of the arm. For the bicep, there's like another layer where his shoulders are, and then out comes another layer for the bicep areas. Man, his armor is like his whole armor is like so complex in design. But, you know, we're learning as we go. Okay. I think you just start somewhere around here. Not sure how his bicep part looked like. I'm gonna look around. It seems like a bunch of like random polygons just stacked together. like one of those like an early 3D CGI model or something in some screenshots. Like if you just mash a bunch of clay together and just like, you know, clump it all together, like that's probably how it looks like. Like even for his like hips, oh my gosh, his hips. If you ever take a look at a picture of Goldar and his hips, and speaking of which, we're gonna be drawing that really soon. I think tonight is just gonna be his arms and torso. We probably won't get to the sword yet. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see if we have time to do the rest of his body. But his hips part, ooh, it's just like plate after plate after plate. Keeps going. Oh, yeah, I thought I felt a freeze there. You know, let me save before anything happens again. Okay. Hopefully I don't know how the bicep part looks like, but I hope that's correct. But yeah, the hip parts is just like this bicep area, where it's like plate on top of plates, and they're curvy ones too. Just gotta make sure they appear curvy as I place them. It seems like his arm's a little bit more folded out. Ooh, Now I kind of wish I kind of like swapped both arms. Because I feel like this one's a little bit more folded outward, where it's supposed to be on this side. That's supposed to look like it's folded outward. On the right side should look like it's more pointed downward. You might have to redraw this. I don't know, we'll see. I could probably like adjust some things, maybe transform it. It's supposed to look more relaxed and pointed downward, I think. But let's see. So I can fix it. Oops. Sorry about that. Alright, so this arm here definitely needs to be a little more relaxed. See, this is why it's always good to like sketch it out, see where things are gonna appear, it's gonna end up. So his shoulders or elbows are gonna be somewhere around here. And then his armor, his arm, the rest of his arm is supposed to be like that way. And then this one's supposed to be pointed downward. So this right here, yeah, it should be like something like that. Bring it closer to the body, I think. Man, how come the program does that sometimes? It just like bounces upward. Okay, I think for some of these plates, they should be they shouldn't be too round. Like we shouldn't see it from too much up in the angle. Okay, so now we know which position it's gonna appear like. I'm gonna draw it out. Okay. Even though some of the armor plates it's supposed to be a little bit more rounded, yeah, like something like this, I think. And then this part should be the thing that sticks out this way, and then round it out over his shoulder. Wait, I gotta line it up correctly. Yeah, so it should be somewhere around here. There we go. So, yeah, it's like somewhere around here. wonder if these should be a little longer. I think they should be a little longer. Not just covering the wrists, but should be that longer. And this end here shouldn't have any ridges. It should just be aligned with the rest of the greaves. Something like that. I think this part, like the wing, should be a little bit like this. Like it comes downward and then matches up with whatever that it attaches to. Oh no, I gotta watch out because his elbow is coming up to an end there. So it should end somewhere over here. Yeah. Man, this mouse is going crazy. I can't get the spot where I want it to go. There we go, something like that. Again, the shadows do help. Make our way around. There we go. We don't have to reveal too much, just enough to indicate that there's like some plate or whatever down there. We'll go back to that later. Okay, so this part. Oh, man. I don't know why the program does that. Okay. So this little wing here, how it's gonna make a little more rounder. I think not too sharp. This is coming out really well, but I knew that it's gonna require some detailed designs. I'm going to mute the mic for a bit. Alright. Wow, we definitely fixed up that arm, man. I should pat myself on the shoulder. Because it was before, it was like a little bit more lifted, even though it's it was more more meant for the other side. Like, it was supposed to be more for like a raised arm, but man, yeah, we managed to fix it a bit. It was definitely a bit better, or more proportional, I should say, or to proportion, to scale. Still a bit sketchy. Gonna clean up some parts, the edges. Yep, got his elbows there. See, that's the part where you don't see a lot of his elbows. Like, even in the show, it's like most of his body is like covered in armor. I never see him without his armor. Okay, so underneath this wing part, it's kind of somehow attached to the rest of the greave, so I'm gonna have to like smoothen that part out a little bit more, I think. Oh, I think gotta get it lined up this way. Make it like that. Because you look on the other side, the blade is more showy, and it shows a little bit part of the rest of the arm around it, and compared to this side, but it's okay. It's all in perspective, I guess. Fix a little bit on this part up. We use some of these scruffy, sketchy lines as a guideline for the gold, to make it appear gold. So it's gonna be like part of the shininess of it, of the armor. I think that's gonna be the technique that I'll use. So it looks like there's some faint lines that go along with that or something. I don't know. At least it seems. Probably not. Actually, I think along the edges there might be some. But I don't want it to be like too visible. Just enough that it will look like it's rounded a bit. Oh man. Oh man, I'm really liking how this is turning out. Clean up this part of the image. These are just the sketches that I placed earlier, just to see where the arms go and stuff. Alright. I shouldn't worry too much about these lines because I can probably just color in, and I think the black will probably, you know, blend in with the blue, or at least most part of his body is like, or his hairs and his wings are very darkish colored, so it'll probably blend in well with the color. Alright, let me clean up this part of his arm. What's up, Tsunami? Welcome, welcome. Just trying some Goldar. So far, so tonight I was able to add both of his arms and his chest. I think we're just gonna draw like his, just his upper body, complete the, the upper body part. And I'll probably save tomorrow, or not tomorrow, whatever the next session will be. We'll work on his sword and his, his bottom half. This will be a long one. Yeah, so far it's coming out really well. Oh, thanks for the follow there, Tsunami. I'm working with a mouse and keyboard, although I haven't really touched the keyboard as often. I just use that for like undo and redo or whatever. But it's mostly just clicking on the mouse. Gotta carefully get in there. Alright. To make things easier, I can probably just zoom in. Alright. A little bit closer in. There you go. Wow. Much more room to work with once it is zoomed in. Oof. Oh, this sounds miserable. Props. Yeah. Thanks a lot, man. I work with what I have, I mean, this, I guess in a way, this could, it's a message to like other artists, like, hey, this is possible. This is definitely possible. You can definitely draw with a mouse and keyboard. It's no different. Well, it is different, but the point of the matter is, it is definitely possible if you put your time and effort into it. And yeah. Why don't I get a $20 XP pen? Wow. 20. What is an XP pen? I don't even know what an XP pen is. I don't know all these technologies. Enlighten me, please. Oh man. Yeah, and I never really thought to like look at what's out there now. I've seen some of the stuff that's out there, and wow, they are quite expensive. But I guess now, there's a lot more options than before. So I guess that's a good thing. It's never really, I don't know, just never really thought as like a priority to look to get one. Is it compatible with See, now I'm curious about the compatibility of some of those newer stuff. Like a Wacom drawing pad, just another company. Oh, I think I've heard of XP Pen and the Hawaiian. Is it pronounced Hawaiian or Huion? Huion? Huion. Okay. Wait, what was I trying to do here? Let me zoom out a bit. Huion. Huion. Sounds like a Chinese company. Okay, so so it's like Wacom. Okay. Yeah, me and a couple of other artist friends. We do team up on some art challenges and stuff. Although currently they're kind of on break ever since the COVID happened, so they haven't really been like on as much or doing art as much. But they've gotten their tablets and stuff, and they've been working on like practicing their digital arts as of recent. And I'm liking how they've gone from being traditional and gone digital. It's nice to support each other and see how we improve over time and stuff. Am I doing Inktober? Yeah, I plan to do Inktober. I also plan on. Well, first off, I want to get all these done first. Like this fan art here, it was meant for the 6 fan arts, which was I intended to do back in April, and I pushed it all the way back to now, which is September. So I kind of want to finish all these by the end of September before Inktober starts. And this is currently only the 3rd drawing, and I'm just like spending so much time on it. I know I should have started a long time ago, but when you're stuck playing Animal Crossing every day, like, you know, that game just like takes up a lot of the time, and you just forget about everything else. So I'm also playing that. But yeah, I definitely intend on doing Inktober this year, and trying to get a proper webcam up and running for that, because since I'm running Windows 10 now, Windows 10 doesn't support the project to screen thing with my Nokia Lumia phone anymore. I have an old version Nokia Lumia, the 1021 with the camera, the 41 megapixel one, which is like a 7-year-old phone, and it's not as compatible with Windows 10 as I'd want it to be. So I mean, if I don't get the webcam, I have to resort to booting up my other partition, which runs Windows 7, and then use that, like how I did last year. Last year I did Inktober, and the year before that too, and I had to use my Nokia Lumia as a webcam. I don't have a proper webcam, nor do I have a proper drawing tablet, so I lack those modern tools to do what I want to do properly, I mean. So I just use whatever I have to do what I can do. Go faster with the drawing tablet. Yeah, definitely. I could see, like, if I had a drawing tablet, I could finish this drawing in like 10 minutes. 10 minutes tops if I wanted to, but you know, I mean, this part is a challenge. I think challenging oneself is one thing like an artist should do. And I don't know, I've been drawing with mouse and keyboard for I want to say like since 1999, ever since I got my first computer. Just like fooling around with MS Paint to see what I can do with it, exploring the OS and stuff. But man, yeah, it definitely would be a lot easier with the drawing tablet, I'll tell you that. Like, I see like how other artists, like they move so quickly with the drawing tablet, and man, I wish I could do the same. I mean, with traditional paper and pencil, pen, whatever, it's easy. It's fast and easy. When you're so used to drawing and just doing art, it all comes out so naturally and quickly. But man, when it comes to like new medium or any outside medium, try for the first time, try to get used to it, you know, it's a learning process, and also very challenging at the same time. Some say they can't do it, some say it's not possible, but hey, I think it requires the right person to with enough patience it's definitely possible. I mean, if you can definitely, if you can put a mark on the screen, then you can definitely do art. If you can put a mark on a piece of paper, anyway, you can definitely do art. I think that's there's always a possibility there. If you don't mind me asking, what state are you in? I'm on the east side, East Coast, Massachusetts. So I'm all for challenging oneself, but there comes to a point where the time is required to lose the experience gained. Yes. Yep. I think yeah, it just requires time and patience. And sometimes some people just don't have the time. They just gotta get it done ASAP, you know. And I kind of want to get this done by the end of September, so that is the goal. So that's why I plan on trying to go live, like, you know, ASAP, right after I finish up Animal Crossing. Well, maybe not right after, but like as soon as possible. Take a break after Animal Crossing and then hop on to do whatever art. So here I am. Hard to find webcams right now with back to school requiring. Oh, really? Yeah, I can imagine. I think in my case, I do have friends that have some webcams that they're not using. So I'll be meeting up with them sometime this weekend. So possibly, hopefully this weekend, I'll be able to pick up a webcam so I can set it up for Inktober. We'll see. I mean, if not, I'll have to like revert to using Windows 7 and my phone again. And that setup is not it's not a very good setup, I'll tell you that. It's well, I also ordered a lamp, like a ring light lamp sort of thing, for like not even $10 on online. So that has already shipped in. I have to pick it up from the location that it was shipped to. Yeah, I'm currently at a different location there than I was before. So this is like just a temporary location. But the internet's good. That's the only reason I'm here, staying here for. It's just that sometimes my computer just freezes, and I apologize if it does. I don't want to jinx myself either. So I shouldn't, I should not mention it at all. But let's see. If you want, I could send you my old XP pen for free, a small one, so not so super fast. You don't have to. See, I haven't used it for a few years since I had my larger tablet. Oh, you don't have to. I mean, it's okay. I don't really intend on doing like art as much. The art's like really comes around like this time of year. I don't really do it throughout the entire year. Oh, I need to mute my mic for a bit. Okay. Oops. Yeah, so like, yeah, once, like, usually around September, October is when I start doing art again. So like for Sketchtember and for Inktober is when I start bringing back the arts. And try to get like others to, like, you know, pick up drawing too. I think think what inspired me to go back in doing art again, it really was the Inktober stuff. Like I saw people on the social feeds posting like Inktober drawings. I'm like, wow, man, I should get into this. I think back in like 2018, I was like, oof, I was so determined to like do some Inktober for the first time. I think it was a few years earlier than that, or maybe it was 2017 when I did my first Inktober. I didn't know what Inktober was until like the year after, but I drew like this a drawing of Mega Man, like an old school Mega Man, box art Mega Man I should say, and just did it on, you know, piece of paper, and then I inked it for the first time, and then I thought that was just what Inktober is. It's just inking your drawing. And then I posted that. That was pretty cool. But then I found out later that there was supposed to be like a prompt list that you had to follow. But maybe you don't have to, but like there is a prompt list that's associated with Inktober. And I didn't know there was that. And then the next year I tried to follow that, and I managed to do all the way up to like I think the 26th day or something like that. Like I was pumping up drawings like day after day, and not only that, but I was able to like make speed art videos out of each of those drawings, and it came out pretty well. I was like very inspired that year, 2018, and that was my first real year of Inktober. And then, oh man, I think that was probably still the best year I've done, like I've followed with Inktober. Alright, fair enough. Oh, this is optional. For me this year, each day, I'm doing SCPs instead of prompts. What is SCPs? But yeah, I don't really. I think when it comes to Inktober itself is a challenge. Like how long can you keep up with the prompts and stuff each day? I think it depends. Like in my experience, I feel like it depends on how much detail you're planning to put into each of the drawings. And man, did I put a lot of detail into some of those drawings. I had to plan. See, what I did that first year, or that 2018 one, was I had to plan it ahead of time during the month of September of what I want to do, what I want to aim for, and whether I want to like theme it after something. And doing a lot of research, I think. Just looking up characters, poses and stuff for each of the prompts. And then once October hits, I start doing a drawing. Come up with concepts beforehand. Because the year after, 2019, which was what, last year? Like, I was scrambling to find what I'm gonna do. So I themed it after video games, for last year's, I think. Video games, and make it spooky. That's what I did last year. But then, because I didn't plan it out ahead of time in September, I only managed to pump out 7 drawings, 7 of the prompts that year. Oh man, but there were so many good prompts last year too. There was a dragon one that I didn't get to. I would have drawn some cool stuff for the dragon, but didn't make it to the drawing or to the prompt. Like for me this year, oh yeah, that's right. Creature monsters like we consider Slenderman. Oh, okay, an SCP. What's that acronym stands for though? Like what? Like what's it stand for? I gotta mute the mic for a bit. Sorry. So it stands for Secure, Contain, Protect. It's a strange acronym. The corporation that houses all of nasty critters. Whoops. Alright, I might have to mute the mic back. I might have to take a break for a little bit. I'll be right back. Back. Alright. Oh. Better remember to save. Okay. You like dragons, you should do Smogus. Oh my gosh, Smogus. I totally forgot about that. So that's something that's in August. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, I've never done Smogus before, but I know that it's a thing. Maybe one of these years I'll definitely take part in that. Is there a prompt list for that too, or is it just like dragons or whatever all the way through? Okay, so this part of his armor is a little more shadowy. I gotta erase this part. Alright, I'm gonna mute the mic for a bit. Alright, we should be getting close to finishing up his upper armor soonish. I'll probably go for, actually, don't really have much else to do tonight. So I might go on until midnight or something, we'll see. I was planning to catch up on an HBO series called Lovecraft Country, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It involves monsters and stuff, of course inspired by Lovecraft, H.P. Lovecraft. And I think it's based on a book, one of his books too. Like 4 episodes in, and I'm really enjoying it. The last few episodes have been a little bit draggy, but I'm still interested in it. But I've got to catch up on the last 2 episodes though. Hey Kadiri. I hope I pronounced your username correctly. Thanks a lot, yeah. Working on Goldar here, as you can see. Goldar from Power Rangers. Come to think of it, I don't know how tall his, or how long his sword is. But hopefully I got the length correct. Like that. I gotta mute the mic every so often, just to avoid sounds, background sounds. Alright, might raise pixel size here. Okay, so this part of his armor should have some sort of lining alongside his chest plate. And again, like some of this his armor design is very much like the Guyver armor, or maybe it's like a lot with other armor designs. Let's see. Do what you need to do, bud. Hey, is that clicking sound of a mouse? Yes, you are correct. Yes, enjoy the sounds of the clicking. I think it should add to the ASMR-y. I don't really intend on this to be like ASMR-y, but I guess some people that have dropped by have mentioned it every now and then. Like, yeah, it's pretty interesting that some people enjoy hearing the sound of it. Yep, I am using a mouse, which is why I'm taking my sweet time with this drawing. I shouldn't spend too much time on this on these lines here, because I know they're gonna be painted over. Not painted over, but like it won't probably show up as trying to make it sure it's like lined up correctly with the other side. thank you very much. Any particular reason you don't have a drawing tablet traditionally? Just curious, obviously. I mean, I do intend on drawing traditionally as well for Inktober, and I've done so in the past. I just don't have the technology to do it. Hold up, I need to mute my mic for a bit. Alright. Alright, let me zoom up a little bit. Wow. See, like sometimes, like when you're so in the zone, you know, like doing the art, and like you just take a moment to, like, you know, look at what you're working on and stuff. Like, wow, you just kind of just surprise yourself sometimes. Yeah, but to answer your question, I don't have any drawing tablet of any sort. I've never tried it myself, and I've always been curious. And I see a lot of other, like, friends, they use it, and like, wow, it looks amazing. Like, I've been wanting one for years and years and years, probably decades by now. Just never got around to get myself one. I usually just, like, spend it on video games. I mean, video games are expensive, and also movies too. I'm a big movie buff, so I buy, like, Blu-rays and just add them to the collection. I love movies and video games, and music. Music's another thing too, but that's another story. But I don't know. I just haven't really focused much on the art side until recently. I sort of came back to doing art again after the Inktober. I was mentioning this earlier too, but ever since, like, Inktober, I just felt like I should get reacquainted with my art side and, you know, try to submit something for Inktober. This is back in, like, 2018, but I've always drawn, like, ever since I was a kid. I've always been drawn, like, you know, just pencil and paper. I was the class artist, so everyone knew me for drawing back when you know, as a kid growing up and stuff. Video games are getting expensive, yep. And so are, like, the hardware to buy them, like the hardware to play them, I mean. Computers, I'm also big into computers, and, you know, of course they cost a lot of money to upgrade. So you posted the Inktober prompts on your, oh, okay, yeah. I do intend on doing Inktober this year, and I'm gonna find a way to set up a webcam and stuff. I need to ask my friend if I can borrow their webcam, and then I think I'll probably get started on that once Inktober hits. So throughout the month of October, we'll definitely see some Inktober stuff live. Just be careful not to burn yourself out. I bet you heard can you draw me a lot? I'm guessing that's a me. Yeah. Not as often nowadays, I think. I would say like back in middle school and high school, there was a lot of that question. Can you draw me? Can you draw me? Like, oof. Everyone, like there's at least one person in the classroom that would like ask, oh, can you draw me? And whenever there's free time, whenever there's like a substitute teacher, yeah, that's when the time then when I would get asked that. I definitely remember a few faces from that era. Okay, this should probably be the back of his hair coming outward. Should make it darker than the other layer. Oh yeah, but definitely I get a lot of that throughout middle school and in high school, because that's all people knew me for. But not a lot of people knew me for the music side, because I didn't reveal myself in that department until really late in middle school, I think. But I'm probably gonna save that as a secret for now. Wink, wink. Math art, science art. Yeah, I guess some would consider math as art. I think some of the terms that we use originate in mathematics. But that's when you want to get like really technical and stuff. Same thing with science, I guess. Science is when you want to experiment with colors and different mediums. I think that's when science comes in. Alright, I'm not sure where I want to go next. What I should do his sword or the rest of his torso. I like the kappa. I mean, I do love music, that's for sure. But like, yeah, certain type of music I am so into. Wait, this eraser needs to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, I also intend on bringing back Twitch Sings. I haven't done Twitch Sings for a while, so definitely expect some more of that. Okay, let me zoom out a bit. Okay. I'm not sure how. I need to take a look at his torso. Let's see how it looks like. It looks like he's got some more of the. I want to say the golf patterns on his body. And then what looks like two snakes coming down, and like. Let me try to sketch it out a bit. Like something like snakes or something, and then we get to his abdomen part. Oops. See, the two snakes coming together reminds me of one of the things that showed up in Conan the Barbarian, or Barbarian, I mean. Yeah, I think his front chest should end up somewhere around here, and then he's got like more parts over here. Oh my gosh, there's like so many pieces of his armor. There's like Alright. Of course this part will be covered by the sword anyway, but I just want to see what part is where. Some more golf patterns there. There's like a little triangle here. Wow, even this part of his body is very similar to the Guyver unit. Alright, and then this part here should be where his waist starts to. Oh my gosh. The screenshot that I'm looking at is like cut off, so I don't really see the rest of his body. The program I'm using is Drawpile. Drawpile is a free program you can download for yourself. The way I like to describe this program is pretty much like Adobe Photoshop with online multiplayer. So what I can actually do is set up a session. I can host it. I know you can't see it through the on the screen, but when I select the session at the top menu here, there's a drop-down menu that says host, join, leave. So what I can do is I can actually host this this session onto the public server, and people can actually come in and also draw on whatever layer that they can, you know, either I assign them to, or you know, they could choose whatever layer they want. So on the right side here, you can select whichever layer or insert some more layers that they want. So list of users. You know, I'll move this menu over here. So down here is where the chat room will be. So like I'll say like test, and right here is how I see it says users 0 slashed out because I don't have the room open, or it's just offline at the moment. But yeah, so once people come in, you can see the dialogue saying, oh yeah, a person here has joined or exited, and they can just chat in that chat box. And here over here is like a user list when there's people, and it's kind of like a like an IRC, if you ever been into an IRC channel, which is like an old school way of chatting. I guess the modern day IRC would be Discord. Discord was like integration, like a cross between IRC and like Skype or whatever. So it's kind of like that. So it's all built into the program. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. I found out about this program like earlier this year, I think. And so all the little doodles that you see on the corner there, those are all the ones that I've ever drawn in Drawpile, starting from early this year, I think. So I participated in a few group sessions. I drew some. That one there, the current one, is Mira from Animal Crossing. So, and there's like some other characters from like other franchises. You'll see. Yeah, there's Mario there, Paper Mario. I completed Paper Mario recently on stream. I really enjoyed that game. Not enough reference just to make it up. Okay, my first. Let's see. Making art your job. I mean, I do illustrations as a freelance sort of thing, so not really a, you know, what I like to call it a job, but it's just something that I just do on the side. Oh, let me mute the mic for a bit. Okay, back. I think I'm gonna put the sword as its own separate. Oh, wait a sec. Ah,